were believers in the paranormal, you know, when we started investigating back in 1990. We just believed that 80% of all claims could be disproved. And I think we still fall into that. There's a lot of episodes of Ghost Hunters that never air, you know, because sci-fi can make the call and say, let's play the ones that they caught something instead of the ones that they didn't. So that's up to them. But yeah, we still go in and believing that about 80% of all claims can be shot down and go from there.
Like I said, I mean, our goal is to find the truth. So you have to believe in both. You know, you have to be a skeptic and a believer at the same time. Because you have to be able to chase both paths.
I think we're probably the biggest skeptics there are. All these skeptic societies, they're just trying to be haters, I guess. But we're pretty hardcore skeptics. We don't really believe anything unless we see it.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm a huge fan of both shows, but my question is for Justin and Grant. How is the bed and breakfast inn that you have? How's that going on? And are you going to be filming a haunted or a show there soon? Because I heard it's might be haunted.
Well, we actually filmed a show there last winter. It's the Spalding Inn that Grant and I bought. It was built back in 1860 and it's said to be haunted for over 80 years. But we had sent the GHI guys in to investigate, Dustin, Joe, and Grant and I went snowmobiling for 4 days.
Yeah. But we didn't want to be associated with it at all once the investigation started, so we left, and you know, we didn't want to contaminate. We had them investigate because we wanted to be as unbiased as we could do. And
well, we were asked to film there, and we didn't think that would be right. So you know, have somebody else do it that way. It's not biased.
But it's doing awesome, and it's a beautiful, quiet, very peaceful place. The food is amazing, and our wives have done an amazing job of decorating it and getting it back on its feet.
Surrounded by the mountains, you know, 360-degree view of the mountains, so it's great.
There's a great little pizza shop just down the street in town. They make incredible steak and cheese subs. So I fully recommend that if anybody goes to the inn, they do check that out. But Jay and Grant have a huge restaurant.
The guy who actually created Supernatural is a huge fan of Ghost Hunters, and he called Craig Belligi, who owns Public Films, as Ghost Hunters, and actually spoke with Craig and everybody asking them if they'd be upset if he created that show, and they talked about it. So you know, it's kind of an honor. You know, I've never really been able to sit down with a negative type haunting, but you know what? I talk with Keith all the time, and if I have a case that I think I can use him or John Zaffis, who's a very close friend of mine as well, then I'll bring him in. But you know, Grant and I, we've been to many of us have been to numerous cases that we've been called into by churches to investigate so-called negative entities that, you know, we just go in and we investigate. I don't think a demonologist is just a name. It's not like you're taking a course and you're getting a certificate. It's just somebody who studies demons. And
if you notice on the show when we had the demonologist, the place we were investigating didn't really need a demonologist. That was just the role that they chose to have to put up on the screen. But we do work with demonologists when the cases warrant that. And we have had psychics come with us on investigations, not because we've asked them to, but they want to come with us so we can help verify their abilities, and usually we can. So Donna's not a psychic, if that's what I thought you said.
She was talking about Donna, yes.
Yeah, she's not a psychic. She just feels like she may be a little more sensitive to things, and of course we're going to help her figure that out. But yeah, she wasn't brought in as a psychic. No, she's just an investigator.
So Tech Ops doesn't get mad at me. I promise this is the last question. Here we go.
I think what you're doing is great. I'm a beginning investigator myself.